In this video, we are going to learn about some pure exams question under what matrices. So here you are going to determine how to multiply, find the inverse and the determinant and so on and so forth, right? And to determine the relationship between what two different matrices. So the idea of a matrix is that what I normally do is assuming on the day one, right? So day one, you guys you normally enjoy at a certain restaurant. So on the day one here, let's say you are here, right? So you are here. This is you, and if you are here, that means that you buy an item. Let's say you buy maybe let's say ice cream, right? $4, right? So an ice cream here, which is what $4, right? Your friend will also buy a different item which is on credit just $1, right? So on the second day here, you buy what that same ice cream $2, and then your friend bought that on credit. That is what another $2. Is that okay? So that's just a simple scenario of a matrix. So okay, that's just picture for better understanding purpose. Now we are giving these two different what matrices. So name that one by A and then the second one by B. And then we have the combinations of two matrices, right? So we are multiplying these two matrices, which I was explaining just a few minutes. So if any variable is missing out of the matrix, what I normally do here is that this is unknown amount, right? So this is something that we don't know. But the guy bought something here, but we don't know the particular amount. So that one is missing. So you have to find that at the end of this video. So the same applies to this concept here. So you are represented that by M and then what and N. All right. So here's the pure exams question that we are going to use to demonstrate the concept. According to the question, we are given these two metrics, and then we are told that we should find the value of this m and n such that this a multiplied by b. If you multiply these two metrics, we are going to have this, right? So that is what we are told. Is that okay? So if you are told that if you multiply these two metrics, we are going to have this. Based on that, that's what we are going to use to find the values of this m and n. This is very simple by saying that if I say 2 is equal to, let's say, m plus 1. Is that okay? So if I say 2 is equal to m plus 1, this m is missing. So you just need to solve this in algebraic. So meaning that you are going to subtract 1 from both sides. So 2 minus 1, that is equal to the m, and then minus 1, right? So this one cancel out. You have your 1 equal to m, meaning that our m here is equal to 1. So we are going to use that concept to apply that under this sort of matrix. So we have AB. So A multiplied by B is equal to everything here. So we are going to multiply the AB. Where is the A? This is the A, right? So you have A that is equal to 1, 5, right? So 1, 5 here, and then 6, 6, 4, right? 6, 4 multiplied by, right? Multiplied by the B, which is 4, negative 1, and then 2, negative 1. Is that okay? Equal to everything here, right? So it's going to be equal to everything. That's the 2 multiplied by what? The m minus 3, 10, and then negative 3, as plus what? Plus everything in the second. That's the negative 2, negative 5, 12, and then 1. Right, so the AB here, A multiplied by B, is equal to everything here. So it's our duty to what do the calculation here. So we are going to multiply everything up on this side here, and then we expand this one so that we can easily find the values of the M what and if you want to know more details and a simple scenario in the real life concerning a matrix, make sure that you subscribe the channel, check our playlist under the description below. If you have any question, try and give us a comment in the comment section below. Now, how do you multiply? The idea of a multiplication is that this is what I normally use, right? So I always draw some line down, right? So this is the line, right? So this is the line that goes like this. Is that okay? So if I draw this one will serve as my guideline, right? So this will be my guideline that can help me to do the multiplication. So how do you do that? So this is how you can apply that diagram. So this the lay down procedure like this, and then goes down like this, right? So meaning that we are going to use everything on the top here to multiply the one down here, right? So everything here multiplied by everything here. Just like in the case if you have 3 multiplied by s plus 1, I'm going to use the 3 to multiply everything in the bracket. So that is the concept that we are going to apply here. So this is the guideline. So everything on top here multiplied by everything down here, everything here multiplied by everything here. So how do you do that? So 1 multiplied by the 4, that should give me 1 multiplied by the 4, that should be 4 here, right? And then this plus what, this 5 multiplied by the 2, right? So like this. So okay, 1 multiplied by the 4 plus what, 5 multiplied by the 2, that should be 10. Right? So if you get to this portion here, that's going to give me what? 1 multiplied by the 1 here, which is for the negative 1, right? Remember to give the space out because it's a matrix, right? 2 by 2 matrix here. And then 5 multiplied by what? Negative 1. Then that should be what? Plus what? Negative 10. Is that okay? So down here, the same thing. This everything is going to multiply the 1 here. This one is it's also going to multiply this thing. So here we are going to have 6 multiplied by the 4. That's about 24. And then 4 multiplied by what? The 4 here. That should be a plus 8. Right? So here you have the 6 multiplied by the negative 1. That should be a negative 6. And then this one multiplied by 7. That should be plus 1, negative 8. Okay, so this is what we are having on the left hand side, right? So that is very, very simple. So here, what goes on? So remember, here there's addition here, so make sure I check that 'cause there's addition in between according to the question. So yeah, remember there's a 2 here, 2 multiplying everything in the bracket here, right? Before you do the addition. So the 2 multiplied by everything, 2 multiplied by the m here, that should be 2m, and then 2 multiplied by that should be negative 6, and then 20, right? So 2 multiplied by the name multiplied by that one, that should be what, negative 6, right? Everything added by what? Added by negative 2, negative 2, 12, and then 1, and the n, right? So now let's proceed. So here we are just left with all the addition and the subtraction. So we just need to do that calculation here. So here we are going to have what, 14 here, and then here should be, so this is what I had if you add and then subtract everything. So this one plus this one 14, this one will give me 32, and then here should be negative 11, here should be what, negative 14, right? So on the right hand side here, what you are going to do here is that the two matrices are adding, right? So if you are adding, so where you are, you just have to go and look for your partner on, in a different house or apartment, right? So here, this guy is here, just go for your partner here, right? So there's no way you can add this one to this. Is that okay? So yeah, pay a close attention. So if you are here, yeah, if you are here, you just have to add that one to this one, right? So there's no way you can add this one to this, right? It's not possible. This is not possible. So look at where the position matters. So if you are here, you have to add this one to this, right? So if you are here, you have to also go and look for your partner here. Is that okay? This is very, very simple. So this law applies to the addition and the subtraction. So we have a 2m here plus negative 2, right? So that should be what, 2m and then minus 2. That should be the answer, right? So here we have a negative of 6 and then plus or negative 2. That should be what, negative 8, right? So negative, so you have 20 and then plus or 12 here. That should be what, 32, right? So you have a 32 here, and then this one plus 1. That should be negative 6 plus or plus n, right? So this is what we are having. Now, as at this point, we have that these two matrices are being equal to one another, right? So you have this one being equated to this. This is very, very simple. The idea of equation is that once again, where you are, this 14 here, you are the same as well the guy on the top here, right? So that is the most important thing. So where you are is the key here. So if 14 is here, look for your partner on this side, right? So remember these two things are one, right? So meaning that 14 is equal to 2m and then minus 2, right? And then here too, we look at, so the question says that we should find the value of m and n, right? So we don't need to equate this one to this side. The only portion is that we are going to equate what, this negative 14 to what, negative 6 plus n, because this is what we are looking for. So we have two things here. So we have what, our 14, that is equal to 2m and then minus 2, as well as also you have a negative 14 here, that should be equal to negative 6 plus what, plus n. So these are the two things that we are having. So we can name this one equation 1, and then we name this equation 2, right? So if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to give us a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel for more content like this. So as at this point here, right? So you have these two different equations. We call this one simultaneous equation. So you should know how to solve the simultaneous. If you don't know, make sure that you check our playlist, right? So that is why you have to subscribe to the channel for more content. Comment down below if you have any questions on this, right? Okay, so solving these two simultaneously, either by elimination or by substitution, right? Whichever method is we are okay with, right? So you can apply these two methods to solve the two equations. So the value of the m here by solving these things simultaneously is going to be maybe one way or the other. I mean, this can be a straightforward, right? So this can be a straightforward. So we have that we have a 14, that is equal to 2m here, and then minus 2, right? So adding 2 to the both side of the equation, then we have a 16, that is equal to 2m, right? So to divide both side by 2, so we are going to have a that should be 8, right? So you have the m to be equal to 8. So make sure that you find the value of the n and give me your answer in the comment section below. So with the n here, you have a negative 14 here. That should be equal to negative 6 plus n, right? So you just need to solve this. Give me the answer to the n in the comment section, right? So that tells me that you are following the concept. Now, here's the second part of the question that says that you should find A, B, right? So this notation stands for what? The inverse, right? And what? We have what? The first, second, that's the negative B multiplied by what? A inverse, right? So you have this notation stand for inverse. So you have A multiplied by B inverse or inverse, right? It's a different thing. So after multiplying this one, you find the inverse of that. And what? Here too, you have the inverse of B as well as the inverse of A, right? So the concept of finding the inverse is that you first of all have to identify this, which you already know, right? You already find that. So the AB here, AB from the first part of the question, we had the AB to be equal to that should be 14, negative 11, and then 32 as well as what? Negative 14, right? So that's the answer to be. So the concept here, we are going to find the inverse of this one. Is that okay? So finding the inverse here, there's one way or the other. So here is that what we are going to, the inverse is what? 1 over the determinant of the matrix that we are looking for. So the determinants of this matrix here, that's what the determinants of our A, B, and then multiply by what? The adjoint, right? So the adjoint. Is that okay? So if you want to know how to find this thing, I have a video down there how to find the inverse of any matrix, right? So I have a video down here. Or make sure that you give me a comment in the comment section below. So finding the adjoint, this is very, very simple, as well as finding the determinant. The determinant is multiply this one by this, since this is the 2 by 2 matrix, right? So you multiply this by 3 minus or this multiply by that. Is that okay? I have a video down there on how to find the determinants of a matrix. I'll leave a link in the description below so that you try and watch that.